Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small-town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Attention Iowa business owners. Is your business missing sales because you're too busy to follow up? Every missed call or delayed message could be costing you money. At Easy Biz Tech, we help local businesses stay ahead by automating customer follow-up, so no lead gets left behind. Missed a call? Our system texts back instantly. Need personalized outreach? We send automated texts, emails, and even use AI-powered voice agents to connect with your customers 24/7. Stop losing money because of slow follow-up. Contact Easy Biz Tech today, where Iowa businesses win online.
Hey, and a good morning. Welcome in on a chilly, brisk Saturday morning here in Sigourney, Iowa. We are doing the sports section as always, and we are live at Barn Wired at 119 East Marion in Sigourney. Get in here for home decor, coffee, and more. Of course, they've got breakfast going on this Saturday morning. Whatever you need to get warmed up on this Saturday. We are live at Barn Wired in Sigourney, and yes, we are doing the sports section. We've got a loaded show as usual. We are going to start off with English Valley's girls basketball. We've got Sigourney eSports we're going to be getting to, and Montezuma girls coming off of a big win last night against North Mahaska. That is all to come. Let's go to Andy McGuire and English Valley's girls basketball.
You're right. It is chilly this morning, Steve, but it's a lot warmer than where I came from.
I spent the last 3 days in Brainerd.
On Tuesday, it was actually 20 below actual air temp. So I'm glad to be back in Sigourney. Here with English Valley Bears girls basketball team. Welcome to the program, Coach and ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, do you want to introduce who you brought with us today?
I got a pair of sophomores here. I got Mallory Kane and I got Ava Gherking.
Well, you don't have a lot of choices as far as bringing juniors and seniors. Looking down this roster, you have a young group. Can you talk about the rest of the team, Coach?
We're all freshmen and sophomores for sure. We got three freshmen, and the rest are five sophomores in. So, like I said, they've been playing together for probably since junior high, right? When you moved in, Ava, is that right?
Yes.
So, yeah, young, but we're three-quarters way through the season now. We can start considering ourselves juniors and sophomores now. So
yeah, you can. But juniors, yeah, you can. But you've had a pretty successful season, even with that really young core. Mm-hmm. The last time I looked, you were in second place on Sickle East. Yep. And so tell us about your record and tell us how the season's been going.
Well, season started off, like I said, we had early mistakes. Since then, we've went through the big three of Montezuma, Sully, and North Mahaska, and that we learned a lot from those three games. And that's where we want to be going forward. So other than that, we take care of our business on the other end of other games. That's why we're in second place right now. We got a big game coming up this week with Sigourney, kind of revenge there. So we lost to them by 3 points the last time. We had a late lead, coughed it up. Here, that's where we sit. So that's what.
Well, it's fun to see another team in this Sickle, because you're right. I think that traditionally it's been the Linville Sullys, it's been the Montezumas, North Mahaskas that have had that high power. But you guys bringing in this young talent, I think it's exciting to see where you girls can go in the next couple of years. So let's get to the players now. Let's start with you. Again, tell us your name, what year you are in school. Coach already covered it, but let's cover it again. And tell me what you like about this team.
Hi, my name is Mallory Kane. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I just love how well my team gets along and how we play as a team and how we always cheer each other on no matter the situation.
I'm Ava Gherking. I'm a sophomore at English Valleys, and I really like how our team is like all friends and we all get along really well, and we always work hard in practice and everything like that.
So, Ava, you lead the team in scoring, correct?
Yes.
Tell us how you've had success getting that ball in the hoop.
My teammates get it to me a lot, and that really helps. It's like I couldn't score if they didn't get it to me, and they always find a way to get it to me, and then I just go to work. Hopefully it goes in.
Hopefully it goes
in.
I think it's probably a little more than hope, right? You put some time in the gym putting the ball up, eh?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. And why don't you describe your teammate next to you for me? How does Mallory play the game?
Oh, she's really hardworking and she hustles a lot. She's got really, really good defense. She's always feisty even though she's on the shorter side.
The shorter side? So the roster says, how tall are you, Mallory?
I'm pretty sure it says I'm actually way taller than what I am.
That's the way rosters work.
Yeah. So
Might add a couple inches.
Yeah.
gotta scare him a little bit.
Yeah. So what does the roster say?
I have no clue.
5'10", 5'11"?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6'3".
Probably.
Probably.
I think we forgot to measure that day, didn't we?
It must have.
That's all good. So what do you girls do before a game to get prepped?
We always have shoot-arounds.
Yeah, we have shoot-arounds at like half an hour before the bus time. And then once we get there, we just all go to the locker room and just focus up, listen to music.
All right, there's the question. I love this question. What's on the playlist?
I don't have the aux. It's the Achenbach twins normally play it, but I don't know. It's lots of different genres.
There's a lot.
All right, give me a couple of genres.
Pop.
Pop, country.
Rap.
Right, yeah.
All right.
Got
So
all of it.
all right. So what's your favorite?
Oh,
I like the pop.
I agree.
All right, Coach.
I'm staying out of this because I hear it banging through the door, and I just shake my head and walk away.
Well, that's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
They don't like my old style music.
All right, so you're not participating in that piece of it, but what are you doing on your own to get prepped for these games?
Think of what we can do to stop the other team, of course. We kind of hanging our hats on defense right now. So I'm looking at the defensive side, what we can do to slow down the other team, because right now we're offensively challenged at times. So we have to find a way to shut the other team down. So I'm just concentrating on their best players and what we can do to stop them.
You're pacing the court, trying to find a way to get that heart rate down.
Yep.
Getting it going, huh?
Yep. I've last few games I've been pacing a lot more on the sidelines. I've noticed. So watching film, when I first started, I was a little bit more relaxed, and now it's starting to get in my blood a little bit more. So
a young team will do that to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no playlist. Is there a pregame meal? Anything like that?
Nope. We just come in, go through walkthrough, and hop on the bus and go over. Head home. Kind of the same deal. So.
Gotcha. But then after the game, what do you girls do for fun? You get a big win. Say you beat the Montezuma girls. What are you guys doing for a victory?
Cheering on the boys.
Yeah.
Cheering on the boys. Yeah.
Well, just be excited in the locker room and then go out and watch the boys' game.
Oh, very
Most
good.
likely.
Very good.
The boys are kind of in the same boat we are. They're all young too, freshmen and sophomores also. So.
Right, yeah, you got some good players on both sides of the ball, and you guys have an awesome facility. You know, EV added that gym. How many years ago has that been now?
2014, so it's up to
10 years.
10, 11 years now, yeah.
You can tell you guys take really great care of that. You know, I've been to the gym many times. I watch, some of the younger folks. I've coached in that gym, and you guys have a state-of-the-art facility for a small town like North English. So kudos to that community for putting that facility up, and the future looks bright for you guys. We talked about, how far you've come this season with this young group. What are the goals for the rest of the season? Coach, I'll let you answer that one.
Goals for the rest of the season, I'd like to, of course, we want to win the rest of the games this year and then get into start the tournament. I'd like to make a little noise in the tournament this year. I think we have the foundation of being a defensive team. I think we have that chance to, right night, we could beat anybody, especially if we hit shots. We were down 4 against Sully at halftime. We were down 8 against North Mahaska at halftime. Right there, both games, it just couldn't hit a shot. So to get into tournament time, I think we have the makings of a team that could upset somebody. So
most definitely. And then moving forward, what do you guys have planned for the summer? Maybe even moving into next fall. Do you guys do summer leagues and prep and things like that?
Yeah, we have summer workouts, of course. But this year, this is my first year of getting stuff going for the team. I think I'd like to get into a summer league or at least go to a summer camp somewhere as a team. So something like that.
So Mallory, why don't you tell me about a few of the other players on the team? Obviously, we've chatted with you and Ava here. Who else rounds out the starting lineup for the Bears?
Well, we have the Achenbach twins, Addie and Aubrey. We have Anna Lewis, who's a really big part of our team, and then we have Kayla Lamb, which all bring great things to our team. And the twins really know how to drive and shoot, and Anna's one of the scrappiest players that we know. She never gives up no matter what the play is, and Kayla always keeps trying no matter if shots fall or not. She's really good defensive player and offensive one too.
All right. And Ava, why don't you tell us about some of these other players on the team? Maybe they don't start, but they have a role on the team. Maybe they're helping you get better in practice.
We have Kaylin Castro that doesn't quite start, but she subs in really fast for me when I get tired. And she gives me competition in practice and everything like that. We have McKenna Rugg and Jimena Hernandez, I think. Yeah, I can remember. And they always work really hard in practice and do everything they can to make the rest of us better, which is amazing.
One thing I like to do to get to know the team a little better is I'll ask a question, like maybe a trait, and you tell me which one of the players exemplifies this, right?
Okay.
So,
Oh, good. This will be fun.
Yeah.
Especially what you guys did to me last night. So
I need to hear more about this. So if I were to say you have to give out a Miss Hustle award, who would you give that Hustle award to? And Ava, we'll start with you. Mallory, I have a question for you, and Coach, I'll have one for you.
Okay.
I'd probably give it to Anna Lewers because she's always, even if she messes up, she's always right back and she wants to get the ball back because she messed up. She just wants to go for it all the time. She works really hard at the top of her key in 1-3-1, and Mallory does too, in the hustling and everything like that. So.
All right. And Mallory, if I had to say, okay, who is the quietest player on the team? Like you just never hear anything come out of him. Who would that be?
100% Kaylin Castro. She never talks. This is the first year I really got her out of her shell. The whole team has, and she just became one of our best friends, which was really, really neat.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, and Coach, the craziest, loudest, you have to pull the reins back on him player.
the twins, Alkenbach twins. It's an obvious choice.
No, I mean, I'm not surprised by that. We interviewed the Achenbach twins. Was that for volleyball?
Yeah, for cross country.
Cross country.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. All right, and then Coach, one more question. What in the world happened last night? You piqued my interest. These girls play a trick on you or something?
I think I'll let them tell you what they did to me last night.
Did you ever see the Hey Coach trend on TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
He messed it up really bad.
Yeah, he couldn't even remember one of the players' names in one of them.
Well, maybe I was a little nervous.
We didn't even video it.
Yeah, he wouldn't let us video it.
So I said, maybe at the end of the season I'd let you video it. So that's a little harder than what I thought. So
Yeah, I wish
I'm not a TikToker. Explain what the Hey Coach thing is.
So, he puts his back to us, and we all get in, a line. He doesn't know what order we are in, and we all go, "Hey, Coach," and he has to guess our voice by not looking at us.
Yeah, I got 4 right out of 9.
He always knew my voice.
Well, the twins shouldn't count because they got the same voice.
Maybe we should try it right now. What do you think, Steve?
I got this one right. So
Yeah, he always got me right. Must talk too much.
You win that award then, right? Talks too much. Oh, that's great. It's great to see you guys having fun with a coach, and I'm sure Steve has a few questions that he needs to ask, too, before we move on.
I was just going to ask the girls, coming up in the spring, what spring sports are you involved in? What do you got to look forward to over here the next few months?
We're both involved in track and softball. We're really looking forward to our track and softball season. I think our track team could be really successful, especially with the incoming freshmen and everything like that. I mean, we had some big seniors leave, but we have some people stepping up.
Okay.
I see it's a big roster, too.
Yeah, it's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for track and softball, too. We lost a lot of seniors, like Ava said, which is sad, but it's always good for the new people coming in to make new friends and to continue that team.
Awesome. And Ava, if I remember right, are you in cross country?
No, I'm not.
No. Didn't you win Athlete of the Week one time last year? What was that for?
Track, yeah. Probably track.
All right, it must have been track.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you were running in the picture.
Yeah, it was definitely track.
I'm old. I forget things. So that's about all I got.
I saw you running. That's very
I was in the
descriptive.
bushes
Steve,
watching you
yeah.
run. Creeper.
That got weird fast.
That went down a hole.
It did. We're getting too far into
That's the way
Steve
it happens
Shetler's
here on the
psyche.
sports
I know.
section.
It is. But anyway, appreciate you guys being on the program with us, and we're cheering from you from Sigourney.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
so much for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's get a picture of you guys before you get out of here. 3, 2, and 1. All right, that is English Valley's girls basketball. And as I always say to our guests, appreciate you guys getting up early on a Saturday morning. I'm sure it's about the last thing that you want to do on a Saturday morning. But English Valley's girls basketball hanging out with us this morning. We've got Sigourney eSports. You guys can take position. We'll take about a 1-minute break and be back with more on the sports section, live from Barnwire. Find your Iowa dream home with AE Realty in Montezuma. With unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise, AE Realty is is the Montezuma real estate expert you've been looking for. Whether you're buying or selling, AE Realty can help you get the best deal. You can find AE Realty at 321 East Main Street in Montezuma. Call 641-623-2639 or online at www.aerealtyinc.com. Schedule your next dental appointment with Dr. Dan Schuster at Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. They're accepting new patients. Oski Dental will file all of your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta dental provider. And Oski Dental is located at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa. That's Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. We make smiles happen at Oski Dental. Hey, we do thank all of our sponsors here on Steve Shetler Media for making the sports section possible. Again, we're live from Barnwire this morning. Just taking a quick peek at our upcoming basketball schedule that we've got on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, and YouTube here over the next few days. Coming up this week, actually, it's just a couple of Pekin games, as Pekin will be against Cardinal on Monday. That's a girls' game. And then Pekin and Highland on Friday. And then our last few games has Sigourney at Iowa Valley, Pekin at EV Boys, and North Mahaska and Oskaloosa coming up on Tuesday, February 11th, right before the postseason begins. So that's our basketball schedule here over the next few weeks. As promised, we bring in Sigourney eSports as our next guest, and Andy McGuire is your host. Andy, take it away.
And this is a first for Steve Shetler Media, is eSports. So this is exciting, showing that we cover absolutely everything. And we have Coach Kelly with us today. Coach, we're going to start with you. Can you tell us who you brought along with us today?
Yeah, so I've got 3 freshmen with me here, core of my squad. Really, I've got Brody Gable, Isaac Jones, and Greg Carrion. They're all, working really hard right now, and they're kind of leading everybody along the way in our team, at least. So
right, and another first, we have a suit. We have a sharp-dressed young man showing us up. Did you wear the suit today just because you were going to be on the show, or do you have plans?
I was told that I was supposed to dress nice, and I don't usually, so I'm like, I might as well.
Yeah, absolutely. When in doubt, put the suit on, right,
yeah,
Coach Kelly?
It was an upgrade from the Slipknot T-shirt he was probably going to wear. So.
There we go. I mean, we're already into the music, and we will talk about Slipknot. You a Slipknot fan?
Yes.
All right. Well, if you weren't, I'd wonder what in the world you were wearing a Slipknot T-shirt for. All right. So, Coach, tell us about eSports. And this is a hugely popular activity for young folks that are interested in online gaming, correct?
Yes. Yeah, big time. So the big thing for us is, this is our second year having this. And a lot of it is, one, awareness of what we're doing. So allowing kids to know really, hey, this is something new. We're starting to allow kids to kind of get in it. But there is lots of opportunities out there for us to move past just the high school level. There are opportunities at the college level even for esports. People are making a lot of money and getting a lot of scholarships for playing, even at small colleges now. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for a lot of kids. There's a variety of games. I know not every game is everybody's niche. There's a variety of types. If they're a Call of Duty fan, or if they're a racing fan, or if they're, into sports games, there's a lot of opportunity for different types of games to be played. But I mean, right now with the way our association is set up, we really kind of have 3 different niches. You've got the kind of arena fighting type games. You've got the more traditional like battle royale style games, and then you do have some racing games. So
right. Yeah, very exciting. So let's go to our athletes. And we'll start with Brody. Brody, you're freshman, correct? So why don't you go ahead and tell us, who your parents are and maybe what some of your other interests are.
That's a tough one. I don't really. I would say that I'm like an amateur guitarist.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And your parents?
Can I skip that question? Can I skip that question?
Yeah, absolutely. Isaac?
Okay. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Parents and what your interests are.
Okay. So my parents are Felicia Mull and Donald Jones, and my interests lie within video games, science, and math.
Very good. And down here, you want to pass the mic down?
What was it?
Sorry. Parents and interests.
My parents are Austin and Brianna Reeves, and then I'm a percussionist, normally timpani, and then I'm doing a little bit of guitar.
Awesome.
And then gaming, obviously.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're a good place for that. Okay, and so Coach was talking about the different types of games that are available for you guys to play. Why don't you tell us, we'll start down here with you, what is your favorite game to compete in?
That we're playing right now?
Anytime.
I'd say Overwatch.
Overwatch?
Or Mario Kart.
Ah, there you go. You're getting into the Nintendo. Now we're talking things that I get.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So I get the Mario Kart. We'll go back to you.
Okay, so I enjoy Overwatch, which is just, we play Overwatch for eSports, so that's given. Then I'm a big fan of Halo. So, that would probably be my favorite competitive game that I play.
Gotcha. And Brody?
We'll both do it. So, I mean, I enjoy Mario Kart, Smash Bros. Overwatch is fun. Rhythm games, those are also pretty good. And a bunch of other things that I cannot think of right now.
Oh, yeah. So I got to admit, I know very little about this topic. But Brody, can you help me out? What is a rhythm game?
Basically, you just kind of like press buttons on time and to the rhythm. Hence why it's called a rhythm game.
Rock band. Guitar Hero.
There we
Dance
go.
Dance Revolution.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
I think that's what he's meaning.
Appreciate that.
Very poor at explaining things.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coach, what's your favorite type of game to play?
Oh, right now I'm a card game person, so for me I like to play like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and Pokemon trading card game and Magic Gathering. But you can play those online now. I'm a big fan of those. I like the strategy side of it. So that, and I play a lot of old school stuff. So like Diablo 2 from like, the early 2000s. I still play it somehow on my computer. So it still runs. So,
well, I was going to ask those questions. I was thinking about this last night, just thinking back through video games that I've played, going all the way back to Atari. Have you guys ever played Atari?
No, I'm not.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I know what it is.
I have. I love
You've
it.
played Atari?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've played like some way older games, but not like Atari old.
All right.
There's old.
This is relative.
And then there's Atari old.
Yes.
Here's the thing. There's like 2000s old, and then there's Steve Shetler old.
Yeah.
So tell me what an old game that you've enjoyed is, Brody.
Legend of Zelda's pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that is old school in my opinion. I played that when I was young. The original Legend of Zelda?
I've played the original and Ocarina of Time.
Very nice. Very nice. Isaac, how about you? Old school video games.
I don't normally play very many old school games. Not really. Yeah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
We're new school, and we're going down the line too.
I don't really know like post dates of games, so I couldn't tell you.
All right. How about this one? GoldenEye.
Great game.
Yeah.
Terrible graphics now, but great game.
That was awesome graphics back in the day. I
Back
remember
then,
when that
yeah.
baby came out. My mind was blown.
Oh, yeah.
Got
to watch out for that golden gun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That was, one of those first-person shooter games. Played that thing for hours. You felt like you were in the game.
Oh, yeah.
You're walking around. You guys ever get that when you play too much and you're just like, oh, I'm in the game?
Not really.
Yeah,
Unless it's
VR games.
But that's a different thing.
Yeah, it is a different thing. So you guys do VR stuff too?
Sometimes.
I'm waiting for a VR headset.
Yeah. The Oculus? Is that what we're talking about? I'm out of the loop here, but
Yeah, I mean, it's a newer gen of that, I'm assuming. So, yeah.
So I mentioned I was in Brainerd, so I had a ton of time driving yesterday, so I'm listening to a podcast on the ride back, and I think I listened to Joe Rogan talk to, who was that, Zuckerberg, I think, Mark Zuckerberg, and they were talking about VR. and they were talking about the technologies on what's coming, and talking about how they're trying to tap into the other sensory pieces of the human anatomy. And they were talking about a paddle. They were talking about ping pong specifically, and now they're putting sensors in the actual paddle so you can actually feel the ball on the face of the paddle instead of just the sensation of it hitting the paddle.
Wow.
So it sounds like there's a ton of technology coming our way. Are you guys excited about that, or are you guys more interested in just traditional online stuff?
I mean, it'd be cool. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I'm always interested in any advance within technology. It'll be fun.
I'm somewhat interested in more advances, but I don't really get understanding of most technology. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And one thing we do with, like, in our school, we have actually a computer gaming design course that we teach. And so they're in the freshman level courses, our engineering course that we do. It's a lot of 3D printing and stuff. But we do have a course where we actually talk about designing games, and we do coding and that kind of thing. And we do talk about how you can advance it and eventually move to the VR side of it. So I think for them, they haven't had that experience with that course yet. But I think as we do kind of move that direction, it'll give them that opportunity to learn more about that stuff. I think the direction that they're going with games will make it so much more enveloping, so to speak, with the way you play. I mean, if you think about it, if you're playing a first-person shooter game, right, and instead of having to use a controller, you actually have to move your body and play at the same time and aim and all those things, that will take games to a completely different level. And the reality side of it is going to probably be the hard part. You know, some people making a disconnect between the two. So I feel like there are a lot of advances that could be really great, but it's just that line of, you know, what is reality, you know?
Yeah, you bring up some awesome points there, you know, and it kind of starts delving into that realm of whether or not it's an ethical, you know, thing to get into, right? When you start deviating from reality and virtual reality, that starts bringing in some other questions that you wonder, you know, how are we going to handle that as a society, right?
Yeah. And then it goes down Terminator lines, you know, so we can't have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I probably shouldn't listen to these podcasts, but they were talking about how they were trying to retire ChatGPT and put a new version out. And when ChatGPT figured out that they were trying to shut it down, it started actually rewriting itself to try and hide what it really was. So this generative AI stuff is really kind of scary. You know, and you're like,
I know, right? I mean, it is amazing what they
Cue the
can do.
Terminator music.
Yeah. By the time we get to the Montezuma girls, I'm going to be hiding under my stool. But Coach, this eSports thing is you know, a lot more organized. You know, I mean, obviously you say you're in your second year, but it's been going on for a while now.
Yes.
But you guys keep score. I was looking on GoBound on the platform where, you know, the state reports other athletic events. You guys actually have a presence on Bound too.
Yep.
Where you show where you've been in tournaments, how you've scored, what your record is. Coach, can you talk about how, you know, your competitions are scored?
Yeah. So the way it works with Overwatch, at least, what we do is it's a best of 5 series, and so what you do is you try to win. Each round is a different game type. So the first game type you always play is like control, which is a capture the point, maintain it. And you have a meter that you fill up to try to score that point, and you have to get 2 of 3 points in order to get to that. And then after that, the losing team for that round picks the next game mode, which there's like essentially push the payload, protect the point plus push the payload. There's all kinds of different kind of game modes that you play, and it's the first team to score 3 round wins that will give you that. So you could see a score of 3-0. Well, that means they won all 3 rounds of the 5 in a row. Well, if it was like 3-1 or whatever, or 3-2, that just tells you how many rounds you went. But it doesn't necessarily tell you how many like points were scored between each team. So, like for example, you could lose 3-0, but you could score, you know, you could only really be losing like 27-20. You know, or something like that. It could be a lot closer than you really think, especially like points-wise, because you also keep track of like how much damage people are doing, how much healing's done, assists and eliminations, and those are actually tracked on a different website within the league that we're in. But eventually, I hope they do put on Varsity Bound like our actual stats, like our EDAs and things like that, and so kids can see how well people are doing. Because we actually have a couple of players who are top 10 in scoring. We just don't have, you know, our record may not reflect that. So we've had probably 6 or 7 scrimmages for JV level and varsity level, and we've probably won 4 of the 7 scrimmages. But with league play so far, we're 1-4, which we have I will say we have one of the harder schedules I feel this year, unfortunately. We have 2 of the top 10 teams actually the 1 and 3 seed in our whole league are in our division. We played them weeks 2 and 3 back to back, and that was not fun. So, but we're very young, and I feel like we can get a lot better. We're playing teams that are senior led. Like I think 2 weeks ago, we played a team that was all 5 seniors, had been playing for 4 years as a team, and we competed with them. We weren't able to get over the hump against them to be able to finish points. Like we were ahead in 2 of the 3 games that we lost, and they came back and won. It was just like, okay, we can compete with these guys. They're just good,
Yeah, it's like any other contest. You got youth, you got experience, all of those things. As far as the venue goes, the beauty of this thing is you can play wherever, correct? So when you guys get into these contests, do you guys get together to play? Do you play from home? How does that look?
Well, I mean, we do play. We all play together at school.
Okay.
So after school, like right as we get out, everybody comes down. We put our tables together. We get our computers out. We get the power cords out. We get it all figured out, and we send invites. That's what we do. So like, let's say for example, Owen is there. Owen Clark's one of our other varsity starters. He's the team leader, so he invites everybody on our team, and then he invites the other team to the game, and then we talk through Discord or the team chat within Overwatch to kind of coordinate how things go.
Okay, so you guys have the headsets on, you got the mics going, everybody's rocking and rolling. No, or you're just shooting from the hip? I see you shaking your head down here. Help me out with what's going on here. What does this environment look like?
We don't use like headphones and all that. We just kind of have our audio on and let that go.
Oh, yeah. So you got sound going in the room, and everybody's firing away. It sounds like a good time.
We're all in the same game, so everyone's going to hear the same thing.
Yeah,
and not everyone has their audio on anyways.
Yeah, some people play without audio just because it helps them focus. We do call outs. So let's say, for example, somebody sees something, hey, we're calling it out loud. So not having the headphones on, and we're literally within the same range we are here together. So they'll just yell at each other and call things out and kind of coordinate what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and I think you answered this when you were describing it for me. The platform is PC.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if this was an Xbox, a PS thing, or how that works.
You can play cross-platform if you want. That is in the rules for some of the games. With Overwatch, it's hard to play cross-platform, and they prefer that you play on PC instead. So the kids all have computers provided for them. The school has bought computers for our courses that we have, so we utilize those for our team because they're all gaming laptops. I mean, they run like desktops. So those things draw a lot of power.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's really interesting to see you drawn in some of these academic things too. I'm an engineer, so I get excited when we start talking about all those STEM components when you're programming, when you're interested in these things that lead into those industries. So it's really exciting to see that. But I got to get back to this Slipknot. So what's your favorite Slipknot song?
I can't tell you that answer. There's too many.
Yeah, that one. How about an album?
Can I say all of them?
There you go. Fair enough. Next in line, what do you guys do to get up for these contests? Do you guys listen to tunes? Do you guys hammer out on the guitar like Brody does?
Not really.
No?
I mostly just, if I'm like warming up, I'll just basically just sit there and just go around the practice range. And yeah. Otherwise, I don't listen to music pre-game or during game just so I can hear what my team is doing.
Yeah. How about outside? What's your tunes on the outside?
Outside of that, sometimes I listen to either game OSTs or I listen to the pop punk genre of music, which encompasses a whole bunch of different bands. One of my favorites being All Time Low.
All Time Low. Wow. Good.
I don't normally listen to music during the game unless it's really, really loud because I'm not much of a fan of loud. But out of eSports, I listen to System of a Down, Slipknot, and a couple others.
Yeah. All right. Coach, how about yourself?
Oh, I'm a huge Slipknot fan. I know I grew up on Slipknot, System of a Down, Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica. If it's hard rock or heavy metal, I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
But I love classical too.
Oh yeah, classical music.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing as metal.
Yeah.
It's just not as heavy.
Yeah,
you know,
math metal, right?
Math metal. Yes.
Oh yeah,
great genre.
Absolutely. Yeah. I get into it too, Steve.
It's a wormhole. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Coach. Last year, I came in to do an interview at the classroom. Has anybody picked up the Galaga game since I've been in?
Nobody's touched it.
Galaga game.
I know it's great, and the funny, a couple people play Pac-Man still, and they try to beat that, but they don't try the Galaga, unfortunately.
So my high score is still there.
It's still there.
I went in and set the high score.
Yes, it's still there. They still try to beat the Pac-Man one though. Every once in a while. Everybody comes and is like, where's this spaceship game? I'm like, just try it if you like it, and they're like, I'm gonna play Pac-Man.
So my record still stands.
It still stands.
Galaga.
Yeah.
Galaga.
Yeah. Okay. Last question for you. Actually, two. Last question is best game of all time.
Ooh. Yikes, that's a tough one.
And if it's not best, maybe your favorite.
Oh, I mean, mine's easy. Demon Souls for the PS3. It's the greatest game ever. I mean, it's the precursor to all the Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all that stuff. It's the greatest thing ever. Sorry.
Brody, did I put you on the spot on this one? You got one you can share with us?
I would probably say one of the Legend of Zelda games. Probably mainly Ocarina of Time. That was a good one.
Yeah, Ocarina.
I'm going to say two favorites, one for indie games, one for AAA games. What I would say is my favorite and what I would consider the best indie game of all time would be Terraria, due to its modability, the amount of things you can do, and it being a sandbox adventure. It's like Minecraft, just you get to do a lot more. There's a lot more combat, a lot more just that you get to do. Honestly, it's not fair to be able to compare it to Minecraft because there's just so much more to do between boss fights and gameplay. Then my favorite AAA game would probably be Skyrim, just because I love the story and the immersion and just how it all goes. What's hilarious is that both of these games are over 10 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So is Steve. At least in body, not in mind.
Why do I get picked on?
Young
Today
in
is
spirit.
Pick on Steve Day.
I'd say one of my favorite games that I've been playing recently is Hollow Knight, and then Overwatch as well. I like a lot of different games, though.
And the final question is worst game of all time.
Overwatch.
Overwatch, the game that she plays the most, probably.
It's my favorite, but also is.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship.
I would also give the same thing. Like, it's a fun game to play, but also sometimes it's not. But other than that, Ninja Gaiden, I didn't like that game. I hated it, as a matter of fact.
What was so bad about it?
It didn't play good.
Oh yeah.
The controls were weird. The combat was weird. Just everything about it was weird.
What do you think, Isaac?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I just enjoy playing video games no matter what. I can normally just find the best in things. I'm sure that there are things that I would dislike, just I haven't played them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, there's so many Nintendo games that are just terribly made. Probably Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is probably one of the, and most people are not going to know what that is. But if you're bored and you want to get on YouTube, look up Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's a Nintendo game, old school. It's awful. Like, it's legit. Or Fester's Quest.
I was going to bring that one up. Thank God you said that.
That's terrible.
So I was thinking about this. This is my story. My older brother rented that game.
Oh, my.
And he was playing it, and he found in some NES magazine or something that if you took a picture of the screen when you beat the game and sent it off to Nintendo, like stamp in the mail, that they would send you back like a T-shirt or something. And so he worked at this thing for days and finally beat the thing and took the picture of it, and you had to take the film to Walmart or whatever, get it developed, and they brought it back, and he's so excited he brought it home, and he opened the thing up, and you could not see the screen because the camera didn't capture it.
Oh, no.
I still laugh about that because that idiot spent so much time trying to crank this thing out. He got it, and he didn't get the stinking T-shirt.
I would have been like, hey, you need a refund from wherever you rented it because it's that bad. It's terrible.
Speaking back of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde NES game, I saw some guy on YouTube play it. He's the, quote, angry video game nerd.
Yeah.
He basically just kind of yelled and yelled a lot because it's a bad game.
Yeah, it's a horrible game. It's super long. You get hit like 3 times and you're dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're dead
I
within.
don't even remember the video, but I did watch it.
How about for legendary bad games, E.T. on
Yes.
Atari? Because they buried, like, that's the legend. They
Yes.
took all the games that didn't sell and they buried them in a hole. That was out in California or something.
Video Game Nerd also did a video on that too.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing about that game. I'm pretty sure that game bankrupted the Atari company. I'm dead serious.
Really?
Oh, it was
I
because
had
of how
that
bad it
game.
was.
It was pretty bad.
Steve, any more questions for?
I think we're good. But
All
I do
right.
need to get a picture of you guys.
sounds great.
Nathan. By the way, Coach Nathan, that mustache is amazing.
My
You're
wife-
rocking the mustache.
My wife disagrees. I'm just keeping it because I can now. So
Keep that upper lip warm during the winter months.
it's for when I umpire in the summertime. People can't recognize me after the game.
Disclaimer: do what your wife wants. Your
True.
spouse, your significant other. Try and keep them happy.
As much as you can.
Well, Sigourney Esports, we thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate your time on this Saturday morning, and best of luck with the rest of your season. You guys are good to go. We'll transition into the Montezuma girls basketball team. We'll hear from one of our sponsors and be back with more right after this.
Iowa Harvest Red is a dry red wine from Tassel Ridge Winery that has plum and black cherry aromas and notes on the palate, with nice acid and a long, complex finish. It's made from Marquette and Foch grapes. The 2020 Iowa Harvest Red pairs with pizza, pasta dishes, and grilled steaks. Iowa Harvest Red is available at the winery and at a few of our retailers.
All right, again, we do thank all of our sponsors for making things possible here on Steve Shetler Media with the sports section. What we're looking at on the screen right now is our Team of the Week for Kelly Style State Farm in Oskaloosa. Our Team of the Week, as voted on by everybody on Facebook on the polls, was EBF Girls Wrestling, the third time that the Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont Girls Wrestling Team has been voted the Team of the Week this school year. So congratulations to EBF Girls Wrestling. They are rocking it, and they also got the Athlete of the Week this week with Miley Kirkpatrick from Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont Wrestling. So the folks in Eddyville really voting for their kids and supporting their kids in our weekly polls. Congratulations to EBF Wrestling. All right, we go back to live here at Barnwired in Sigourney, and some of the girls probably have some scrapes and bruises and bumps from last night's game. We got the Montezuma girls hanging out with us this morning, fresh off of their win over North Mahaska last night. Andy, take it away.
Yeah, Steve Scheller Media was in the house covering North Mahaska and Montezuma, duking it out on the court, and the Montezuma girls get a nice win last night. Congratulations. Coach, can you share with us who you brought with you today?
Oh, we brought two of the greatest, Shressa Wetterine and Ellen Cook, our only two seniors who have just done a tremendous job of leading the way for us with what you might want to call an older team, but yet very youthful in the roles that we've had to define as we went through the year. So these two young ladies will have a lot of great things to share, and just proud of how they have continued to enjoy the process of growing together as a team and finding successes, sometimes in wins, sometimes in practice, and just along the way as you go through an enduring long basketball season together.
Yeah, and you guys have been having success this year, Coach. Can you tell us how the year has gone so far? Share with the audience what your record is and how many games you have left. 3 things there. Sorry, I don't mean to pile it on you too quick.
It's all right. Our record is what it is. I don't know. We've got some wins and we've got some losses. We've played an extremely tough schedule. If you look at it, we've got, I think, 4 losses. 4 losses, and all of them have come to opponents that were at one point in time ranked in the top 10 in either 2A or 3A. So none of our losses are to 1A teams. And to have a nice win like we did last night against number 2 Eddyville in 2A was tremendous for us. And I think the greatest thing about this team and this season is we have truly had to grow and learn each other's positives and be able to complement each other. And if you look at how we had to win last night against a tremendously balanced, physical, tough North Mahaska team, we had to really rely on everybody. And not everybody scores points for us. We have 5 kids that start. We have a couple kids that came in off the bench, but all of the kids right now are truly playing their role, and they love each other. You should see some of the celebrations that we have, or the huddles that we have during games, or you watch our bench, who were really, really quiet at the beginning of the year, but now they're just having fun. It's just been an awesome experience to see these young ladies come together.
Yeah, that's great. So let's get to the athletes now. So Coach mentioned that you're both seniors. She mentioned the name, but let's go ahead and do it again. Share your name with us and who your parents are. We'll start with you.
Me?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. My parents are Shiloh and Justin Wettering, and my name's Sharessa. Yeah.
Did I mess it up?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm good. I thought maybe I jacked that up. You're looking at me like, my name is Sharessa. I'm like, yeah, I got you.
I'm Ellen, and my mom and dad are Kyle and Angie Cook.
All right. Very good. So Coach mentioned physical game last night. Steve brought it up. He was afraid that maybe things were going to get a little bit out of control last night. But it sounds like you guys were out on the floor competing, working hard. Sharessa, can you tell me about that game last night, how it went, and how you guys were able to get that victory?
Yeah, it was really, really good. Definitely sticking together was the biggest thing. From the very start, we just kept huddling and being there for each other because that's what we needed. And, people stepped up, and that's what we needed, and everyone did what they needed to do. So, yeah,
very good. And we'll go to your partner in crime here. Describe the rest of your starting lineup. How does this group get along? It seems like you guys really are a tight-knit group. Talk about those other three starters and maybe even some of your bench contributors.
Yep, so we have Claire Silius, Sydney Burgess, and Vivian Cook. And I'd say that this season they have all found the roles they needed to play. They all contribute. We have shooters. Sid has been working on getting inside, so they all play their role extremely well. And then we go into the bench. Lauren comes off the bench, and we also have Lindsay Henry. They come in and give us some nice minutes, which is very helpful. But then all the way down our bench, everyone is very involved in the game. They give us the energy we need in the times when we're down.
Yeah, so New Sharon, Montezuma, those are two towns that are pretty close to one another, have duked it out through the years. What was that environment like last night?
Well, the gym was very hot for one. There was a lot of people in there. There's people screaming good and bad from both sides, but that didn't affect us. We used that energy last night, and I'd say that really helped us to win because we just used our crowd and our fans. Our student section was there all night long, and it was just very fun. It was very good to be in our home gym.
Yeah. We had the Monty boys on last week, and one of the questions I asked them is there a certain game that you guys have circled on your calendar that you really kind of want to get that win on? And North Mahaska was one of them. Do you guys share that same sentiment? You guys are trying to focus. I know you don't focus on one.
We said we did.
There we go, Coach. There we go, Coach.
To be honest, they do the same thing. Yeah. Between them and Linville Sully, obviously two great in-conference rivals. And it's just a great opportunity when you're so doggone close, and we all have well-coached teams with really driven athletes and communities that support them. So for our kids to walk in the gyms when we play those two opponents, it's great. That's what you play the sports for, right? To have that environment, to know you're competing against the best and knowing you have to be your best in order to find success.
Yeah, I love that answer. Too many times we get we take every game one game at a time and we just worry about what's next. Yeah, we do that. I understand that as coaches, you got to take on what's right in front of you. But, if you're Iowa, of course you're looking at Iowa State. And if you're Iowa State, you're looking across the other lane. And I think that's the way that it is in high school basketball. That's what makes high school basketball fantastic. One of the blessings that I have on this program is getting to talk to coaches and athletes and finding out for at least a few minutes, what your interests are and how that translates, who you are as people. And when you find that out, you realize that we're not very different at all. It's just a matter of geographic location. So to that end, we just had the eSports group on here. Do you girls have a favorite video game?
My brother actually is like a video game, that's his thing. So I definitely play a lot of games with him. I really like Mario Kart because it's easy for me to understand. But anything that makes him laugh because I'm just so bad. I'm so bad at it. It's just, yep.
Yeah. How about you?
I don't know if I've ever played a video game.
You've never played a video game?
Maybe when I was younger, but I don't remember.
That's crazy. Good for you. Coach?
Oh, I'm like the old Atari girl, right? And then Mario Kart and all that great stuff.
Yeah.
Pac-Man. Don't play anymore, but I would like to say I did play against Josiah, Sharessa's brother, when I was teaching him. I played against him. It was really kind of comical. I'm really bad at them.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how just to hear those kids talk and they're passionate about their sport, right? We all have our things that we're passionate about, and I'm very non-understanding of EA Sports or whatnot, but just cool how we can all find our own niches in life and
Definitely.
enjoy that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was really a lot of fun having that crew on here talking about video games. And I did see you guys light up, at least Risa, when we said Mario Kart, because I was like, yeah, I like that game, because these guys were into like some serious, high level stuff. And so to dumb it down for guys like me is really helpful, because I can poke the buttons and chase my kids around a little bit, because there's no way I'm getting in front of them on some of that stuff. But anyway, you guys like Slipknot too?
Don't know what that is.
No. We're all like, what? We need to Google search that one, or whatever, search it up.
Yeah, it's an Iowa like new metal, heavy metal group. So it's exciting to see them supporting.
Some nice relaxing Slipknot on the way.
Let's go.
Well, I think I know the answer to my next question is, what do you guys listen to before the game? It's not Slipknot, but what is it?
Oh, you guys don't want to know. They sing before the game,
They
and it's
sing.
painful from the outside of the locker room. But they do have some fun things they do. So I'll let them show.
All right, what are you guys singing?
Well, we just have like a playlist that's a mixture of songs, but before every single game, we have this one song we sing. I think it's called We Are Young. Yeah, we've sang it for like the past 3 years before every single game.
I think I know the answer to this question. Can you guys sing it for me right now?
No, we have to have the tunes to go with it.
And we even have dance moves, so.
Yeah.
Really?
The lead singer's not here right now.
All right.
She's
They're
back.
making all the excuses.
Yes, I know. Can you do one of the dance moves for me? Just a little piece of it.
Shressa came up with this one.
Oh, you invented it.
Wait, how does it start? I can't even remember now.
I think it's like they
Carry me home tonight.
Very good.
Yep.
All right. I'm on a roll, Steve. I had the coach.
You get people to do all sorts of things.
I had the coach from Albia doing the gritty.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we can gritty. Oh yeah.
Oh,
We can
yeah.
gritty.
Yep.
All right. Can we? Yeah. Can we have a gritty contest?
Let's go.
Here we go.
I do this with the kindergartners. As I walk down the hallways in the morning, we gritty together.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not Coach Burgess. I'm the gritty coach. That's
The
what they
gritty
call me.
coach.
That's
The
really bad,
the
though.
gritty coach, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I love it. All right. So what are the goals for the rest of the season?
I think definitely just focusing on every single game and improving as much as we can, even like in our skills, but also like together as a group, and just knowing like our spot and our role in the team and doing only what we can do for everyone else, for our team.
So you guys probably have 4 or maybe 5 games left, I'm guessing.
We have
5 games. And so are there any specific games on there that are going to be maybe more challenging for you that you're looking ahead to? We don't want to disrespect any team on the schedule, but, at this point in the season, we kind of know, who are the horses and maybe who are the teams that are still growing. Are there certain teams that you guys are looking ahead to that thinking, man, that might be a tough game?
We finish up with a couple conference games left, but then we play Eddyville and Albia to finish out the regular season. So those will be 2 pretty tough games that we're just looking forward to.
Yeah, our friends at Eddyville and Albia, we've had them on the program, 2 really well-coached teams. Eddyville has a ton of size. Those girls came in and they had height. So describe the team that you guys have for our audience. Are you guys kind of a run and gun, or are you slow it down, kind of control the clock sort of group, or it just depends on the night?
I think it does depend. I think we have a really good balance. I won't lie. We have a great outside game. We have a great ability to be able to shoot the ball, which we showed last night. We have a tremendous presence with Shressa in the low post. Sydney will come in and give us a good about 5'11", 6-foot post as well. So for a 1A school, we got some size, we got some quickness, and I think the greatest thing we have is just some toughness that we've truly established probably in the last month. Being able to get downhill and be able to offensively expose teams, and not just the three-point line, not just in the paint, but all 3 components of the game. And then defensively, these kids are they're son of a guns when it comes to the defensive end, and really being able to finish some tough possessions that traditionally, in the previous probably 6 weeks of the season, we couldn't get done. So they've really, owned the fact that we have to be tough and we have to finish those possessions that sometimes might be ugly, but you just got to find a way.
One thing I've noticed about Montezuma basketball, whether it's boys or girls, is those groups can shoot. Do you guys put more emphasis on shooting than other teams, do you think, Coach? Or is it just good pedigree in the community, combination thereof? I'm sure you're going to say combination thereof, but I just tell you, when we visit, my kids go to Kyoto. When we visit, I know we're going to see 3-pointers go up and they're going to go in.
I'm a blessed coach. I think Dingler would say the same thing. We've had some tremendous kids come through the program. Basketball is definitely something our kids enjoy doing. Shooting is fun. I mean, I played at Iowa State. Coach Finley's thing was shoot the ball before you turn it over. We try to implement that as well, but we're very blessed to have the inside and outside balance. So we do have shooters. And we have kids that commit to getting in the gym. We work hard during the summer, if it's league play, skill set, playing some travel, whatever it might be, to just be able to enjoy being the best that we can be whenever that opportunity comes for us to play.
Yeah. With Montezuma shooters, though, I do know a few years back there was this guy named Eddie Burgess who was super physical, real strong. And now you got Sydney, your daughter, that's playing too, and she plays pretty similar to that. Is that a Burgess family trade? Do you guys just like get out in the driveway and pound on each other? Or?
It's their dad. That's all I got to say. It's their dad. No, yes. I mean, I've loved coaching Sydney. I think these guys probably watch us coach Sydney and think, oh, dear Lord. But, just overall collectively, this entire team has just been a true joy to coach. And I just thank the Lord every day we get to go to the court. It's like I think we come together, we can let everything go that's happened between, the hours of the time waking up to practice time or whatnot, and just enjoy the opportunity to watch these kids grow.
Yeah. Steve, questions?
Yeah, actually, I got a few things. Coach, you bring a lot of energy to the sidelines. I mean, you are up and down, and are you?
Is that a compliment, or is that like, oh no?
It's a good thing.
Oh, okay.
No, I like it. Are you wiped out after the game? Personally, I mean, are you just mentally exhausted? Or?
I mean, I think our job as coaches is to give what we can to give our kids to be the best that they can be. And I do get animated. I do get on them. I do get fired up at the coaches, whatever, or the officials, whatever it might be. But it's my passion to help these kids be the best that they can be. And I am just fortunate beyond understanding to be where I'm at, coaching, being in my hometown, being a mom and a wife and a coach and a teacher and all those great things. So I just want to be passionate about it for the kids.
Yeah. And you're saying how the bench kind of this year has developed a little bit more personality as well. I don't know. I was at the game last night. We were on the North Mahaska sidelines, so I could see the benches. I don't know who the girl on the very end of the bench was. I think she had a leg brace on. She was amped up, man. Who's that?
That would be Riley. She's a sophomore. She and Layla Kirchville last year were our two on the end of the bench. They got some highlights from Bound. They were our hype girls, and so she took that role on this year and is helping to get the rest of the bench involved.
I think it's working.
Yep.
How did she get hurt? Cheering on the team?
No, it was an injury really in the summer, an ankle injury, and then had to have surgery. So unfortunately she can't play, but the good thing is that poor kid has found a way to find a role.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. You've heard all of us talk about it, to find ownership within what she can bring to the team. And old Riley, she does a great job.
No, it's fantastic. And yeah, the atmosphere, I hadn't been to a game in Montezuma. I mean, I graduated from Sigourney back in 90, so we played in the old gym. But I hadn't been to the updated facilities, and the boys last week were talking about the pep band that you guys have. That is fantastic. Maybe talk a little bit about the pep band.
Yeah, I'm a part of the band, so
Okay.
I've been in that this will be my 4th year, and it's just something that our community really enjoys. Our kids take a lot of pride in it, even if sometimes don't want to show up to the game. It's just something that we're giving a lot of joy to the people who are there. The opposing fans always compliment us, so it's just something that's exciting, and we as players really enjoy having them there.
Yeah, I mean, you get singers, you're playing rock music. People in the crowd are it's like they're at a concert. So you're playing some metal, and because even before, when we were setting up, the guitar player was strumming through some Metallica, and I was like, yeah, and I started singing along with them. They thought I was kind of crazy, but yeah, it was quite the atmosphere. And I said, so we won't go into great detail, but I was just saying last night it was one of the most physical girls' games that I had witnessed. That's not bashing the refs or anything. It is what it is. They were letting you play last night, and same for the boys games too. So, but just a great electric atmosphere on the court, in the stands, and I don't know if you guys want to show any love to your folks in Montezuma for their support. So, just the way they turn out.
Yeah, I mean, we had tremendous fans. I mean, you got to think that was a physical game. That's a postseason game. That's exactly what it is. You're not going to get calls by officials, and I thought our officials did a really good job of controlling it for the most part. We are blessed to have the fans that we have. I mean, both sides were filled. I mean, and talking about little kids dancing because of the band, Mrs. Burnett does a tremendous job with our band, our pet band, and they get noticed all across the state when we go to the state tournament and whatnot. So we are fortunate to be at Montezuma. We love it. We are not perfect by any stretch of your imagination, but have a lot of great things going.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's a great point, Coach, is pointing out, the music side of things. There's a lot of folks that don't get the shout out that they deserve. Last night in Kyoto, I was at the Kyoto game, and it was homecoming, and the Eagle of the Year was Tom Woltering, and he's been running the bus program in Kyoto for a long, long time. And so shout out to the bus drivers, shout out to the janitors in the school that clean up after the games, and everybody else that make it possible. So Montezuma is a great environment. That gym is fantastic. I have one request. I love the music, but we need to get a speaker turned toward the visitor section so we can hear the singing to go along with it. So if you can take that back.
We'll take that back.
Yeah, I would love that, because I walked by it and I'm like, wow, this sounds amazing. And then I got back to the seat. I'm like, I can't even hear the gal. I think it was a gal that was singing. And so I think it would be great if we had another speaker in there. So one request, respectfully.
We'll put that on the list.
Top priority.
Darn Kyoto guy. We're not doing it. We're going to turn them the other way.
Let's get a quick picture before you guys get out of here. We'll stick this on Facebook. All right. Appreciate you guys coming all the way. You would officially be the second team right after the boys team last week. You're the second team from Montezuma to be on our sports section show. So, again, appreciate your time and coming all the way down to Sigourney today. The girls of Montezuma basketball team. Best of luck the rest of the season. I think you guys will have a nice run in the tournament. So, thanks again. And thank you, Andy McGuire, for being our host. As always, maybe you're watching this live or maybe listening after the fact in podcast form. We appreciate you guys tuning in wherever you're tuning in at, and we'll do it again next week. It is the sports section. We are live every week from Barnwired in Sigourney.